Boys, UFC 313 just finished up. We didn't do too bad on predictions. 7-3. Not too bad, but, could have been better. There are some just stupid decisions handing out here and just some stupid decision making that, to be honest, we could have sweeped this card, but what even was this card? This was a good card. There's a lot of just crazy highlight fights, good back and forth wars. Then there's a few outliers of just some garbage ass fights. Let's get into this. As you can see, we have every single winner on screen and a few losers in that co-main event. We also got those prelims that we'll run through quick towards the end of the video, because on this rare MMA channel, we matchmake every single winner. But on that main card, let's just get into this. Magomed Ankalaev, the new light heavyweight champion. It is what it is. I am honestly more mad at Pereira than I am that Magomed is champion, because what the fuck even was that? I get the argument of Magomed winning, but Magomed winning 4 rounds, 5 rounds, I don't see whatsoever. I've seen people online saying that this dude won every single round, which I do not agree with whatsoever. I don't agree with him winning even 4 rounds. I had it scored while watching it, personally. I had it scored first round Alex Pereira, second round Magomed, third round Alex Pereira, fourth round Magomed. I had 2-2 going into the fifth, and fifth round I gave to Pereira, but I don't think it was a huge robbery. Like I said, I blame more Pereira for just the game plan itself. This dude backed up every single round. Fight starts, he doesn't go to the center. He stays a little bit below the Monster Energy logo, immediately on the back foot. I don't understand the game plan for Pereira. It is what it is. Maybe we'll see he has some sort of injury, illness, X, Y, and Z factor on why he just fought this way, but it is what it is. Magomed, what's his next fight? Is gonna be Alex Pereira. It's the biggest fight you can make at light heavyweight. Dana White says at the press conference he never makes fights the night of, except for in this case where he's yeah, that's probably what's gonna be next. With that being said, who would I pick to win? Probably Pereira. I don't even know. I'd probably pick Magomed to win, to be honest. And it's just crazy. If you would have told me that this fight would have ended in decision, Magomed would have landed the cleaner strikes, wobbled Pereira, and that Pereira would have been the one taking out Magomed, I wouldn't have believed you for a second, but that's exactly what happened. And do I think this is a huge robbery? No. I see giving the round 5 to Magomed for 3-2. Me personally, I had it at 3-2 Pereira, giving him the 5th round. I think the 5th round was a swing vote. 1-3 Pereira, 2-4 Magomed. I think that's the correct scoring, but it is what it is. Let's get into Justin Gaethje now. What do we do with Justin Gaethje? Justin Gaethje just beat Fiziev, back and forth war. It was a good fight. Pretty much what I said was going to happen happened. Fiziev did gas out towards the end of round 3, especially after spamming the body kicks in the beginning of round 3. And, Gaethje with that nasty uppercut in, I believe, round 2. Round 1, I scored it for Fiziev, and 2-3, Justin Gaethje. That being said, I do think we're going to see Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria next. Dana said that they're going to announce Ilia Topuria fairly soon here. If it's not Ilia Topuria is a Makhachev, then I still think they should do this fight next. I think regardless of who's next for the belt, I think this is the next fight. I say we do this for the number 1 contender fight, Justin Gaethje, Arman Tsarukyan. They're number 1 and 3 in the world right now. Both these guys have already fought Charles Oliveira. I don't want to see either of them rematch Charles. I don't really want to see a rematch, so let's run this one next. Moving down to Fiziev. Usually when you get a short notice fight, especially on such short notice as Fiziev did, and you produce a barn burner fight like what he did, usually the UFC favor that and they give you a big fight next. So with that being said, someone who pulled out of this fight and put this fight in jeopardy, I think they're going to give Fiziev Dan Hooker next. It makes sense, and ranking-wise, does it make sense? A little bit, but story-wise, it makes sense. Dan Hooker pulled out of this fight. Fiziev came to save the day. I think they're going to reward Fiziev with Dan Hooker and punish Dan Hooker with Fiziev. After this, we can look into, winner of this fight can look into a Charles Oliveira fight next. Something around that, because right now Dan Hooker is ranked number 6, so winner of this probably could look into a Charles Oliveira fight if he's still around. Let's keep moving down. Ignacio Bahamondes retired Jalen Turner. And this was a fun fight up until Bahamondes got that submission. And to be honest, it was a very competitive fight up until the submission. Even, on the ground, Jalen Turner was still doing some good work until he got submitted. But yeah, I think a lot of these unranked fighters are going to get some ranked opposition next. I think we do Ignacio Bahamondes because now he just showed up some dangerous submission game. I think we give him, Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson only really good on the ground, and I think Bahamondes with his new submission threat, I think he makes a highlight reel out of Grant Dawson. They don't really care for Grant Dawson, they don't care for him to be champion or any of this stuff, so give him Bahamondes, get Bahamondes back in there to get a highlight reel, either KO or submission over Grant Dawson. Winner that can look into like the top 10-ish in the rankings. I believe Grant Dawson is just barely ranked. Moving down, the worst fight of the card by a mile. Who cares about it? We're going to run through this one fast. Amanda Lemos, Tatiana Suarez. It's a fresh matchup. They're close in the rankings. Who cares? Again, women's MMA, it's just a common reality that they're by far the worst fights on every single fight card. And this one is no exception. Let's keep moving down. Mauricio Ruffy, definitely in consideration of knockout of the year. If not, probably going to win knockout of the year. Just a crazy sequence. The way he hid the spinning kick, amazing. Bobby Green probably going to be... I don't see much success for Bobby Green in the future. Just too many highlight reel knockouts back to back, I feel bad for Bobby Green. My jaw was on the floor for a good minute after watching this. Just, it was a crazy ass highlight reel. I'm not going to lie. With that being said, they know that now that he has a huge highlight with a big name guy, they're probably going to reward him with a pretty high level top 15 guy. And I think that's going to be Mateusz Gamrot, to be honest. And mainly because Gamrot, he's towards the end of his career. And, he is a little bit old out here. But we need to see how good the Fighting Nerds guys are on their back, to be honest. And I think Gamrot would be the guy to test that. Test the takedown defense. And if he passes the takedown defense, I see Ruffy knocking out Gamrot. Is this maybe a little bit too much, too fast for Ruffy? Maybe, but I want to see this one next. Let's run through the prelims pretty quickly here because I know a lot of you guys don't care that much about it, but Joshua Van got it done. Pretty much predicted it to a T. I did say he was going to get a third round TKO. He honestly could have finished him if there was like a minute left. But regardless, Joshua Van, I say we get him into the rankings now. And the only one that makes sense is like a Tim Elliott. First off, no idea how this dude is still ranked. But let's do Joshua Van, Tim Elliott next. Get him into the rankings. Then we can look up and up the rankings from there. Moving down, Brunno Ferreira also pretty much predicted this shit to a T. We did really good on predictions here. However, I did say I thought he was going to find the shot on the feet, back off, arm into the cage, and then get a takedown and do some ground and pound TKO. Close enough. He got the submission. Close enough. I say this would be a crazy fight. I say we do because we saw he has some good, submission threats on the ground, which I didn't predict at all. But you're telling me Brunno Ferreira versus Paul Craig wouldn't be a crazy fight? Either it'd be crazy on the ground or Paul Craig is getting knocked out on the feet again. One of the two. I think we run this one next. I think this would be a crazy fight. Moving down though, Carlos Leal got it done. Didn't predict this one very well. I did think he was going to be a lot more inconsistent, Carlos Leal, in this fight, because I did think he was going to be coming off some of that secret juice and we're going to see a big performance decline, but not at all. Came out there completely washed. Alex Morono, who is pretty garbage, but it is what it is. I think Carlos Leal, Daniel Rodriguez makes all the sense to run next. Plus, I think this would be a stupidly fun fight, especially on the feet. Apex, co-main event, wouldn't be mad about that. Something around that ballpark, but let's keep moving down. We have Mairon Santos taking on Francis Marshall. I did think this was a huge robbery. I don't care, though, because I got the win. I predicted him to get it done. I did predict, Francis Marshall would be too patient round 1 and 2, then round 3 have a lot of success, and Santos would win 29-28. Not what happened. Got the right prediction, but not what happened. It is what it is. I still say we reward this dude with someone up the rankings. Sung Woo Choi. Sung Woo Choi is on a pretty big decline recently. If he can't beat Santos, cut him from the UFC, and yeah, run this one next. And then Ozzy Diaz, a really fun matchup in the beginning. I didn't have, much hope for Ozzy Diaz and DeJordan Santos. I didn't think it would be that fun of a fight. I also picked Ozzy Diaz to get knocked out. Didn't happen. It is what it is. Who cares? I don't think they're going to be like, yeah, let's promote Ozzy Diaz. He's going to be the next big thing. I think they're going to use Ozzy Diaz to promote other guys. One guy they could use Ozzy Diaz to promote is going to be someone like a Marco Tulio. He made his debut last time, and mark this one next. I think this would be fun. But yeah, that's all the winners of UFC 313. Let me know about this card. How did you guys do on predictions? What do you guys think of the matchmaking? The card itself was really good. I would say the main event was a little bit of a letdown, to be honest. You know, just having Magomed here stalling for like pretty much a whole round, if you consider how much he was just stalling against the cage. A whole round wasted just stalling. Light heavyweight fucked, garbage now. Hopefully my boy Pereira can come back, get that chin in the rematch, because I think that's what's going to happen next, but probably not. Probably going to see Magomed at the top for a while, fighting maybe once a year. Absolute garbage. It is what it is. You know, the fun of light heavyweight has ended. Not much we can do about it, but yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I'm going to try my best to get my predictions for the fight night on Monday. Not gonna promise anything, but yeah, thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. There's really not that much else left to say, except for I will see you guys in my next video.